Hey, welcome back to Gamology. This is Experts React. I'm Dr. Jordan Wagner, better known as Dr. ER. Today, we're checking out Sniper Elite 5, so let's do this. Oh, this is cool. Oh my gosh, do I have a car hit? Oh my gosh. That's funny. I mean, not funny, but it's creative in the sense of like, wow, I can't believe they came up with that idea. Literally, that is what I see all the time in the emergency department is people getting hit by cars. We call them pedestrian versus car. And the amount of trauma that you see, it's immense. You can have head trauma, neck trauma. If it is a high-speed injury, which that probably would end up being, right? 30, maybe 20 to 30, maybe 40 miles an hour if a car going down a hill. You do head-to-toe CT scans looking for any trauma if they make it to the emergency department with a heartbeat. Okay, we got gun on the rat. We got... Okay, don't touch the rat. It's got a bomb in here. Right? Nope. Oh my god. How would they know that it's going to get into the fire? Now the question is, did the rat have explosives in it already? That is so interesting. Again, we know explosive injuries cause barotrauma, chest intrathoracic injuries and hollow organ injuries. Bowling. Really? There's a bowling alley in this guy's house? Come on. You deserve... No, I'm just kidding. But who doesn't like bowling? I love bowling. That's awesome that they're able to show like little steps. Come on. That was very, let's say, reaching. A blunted bowling pin that's not even fractured or broken, getting impaled through somebody's skull. Probably unlikely. It's going to cause skull fracture. Maybe a counter-coup injury where the brain goes front and back and it can cause some bleeding and maybe ripping of what's called your bridging veins. Penetrating trauma. Come on. We're aiming for the head. Oh. I mean, the anatomy is amazing. You're seeing the brain. You're seeing all the anatomy of the neck. The brain actually looks appropriate in the sense of you're seeing the gyre, the different sections of the brain. It actually looks like that. So cool. The graphics look so good. I mean, I love the slow-mo. Literally, you see the muscles of the front of the face here. You see the skull kind of popping off. Now, you're getting hit in the front, and it's actually coming through a side, going through the front here. Could you actually survive that injury if you get past the bleeding, the swelling? There's a potential, and obviously, the bones are shattered. You may need a plate there. We're going for body shot. Oh, that's so messed up. Come on. Come on. I've actually seen people get shot through the scrotum. Sometimes misses the testicle. Sometimes it takes out the testicle. What are you going to do? Could you live without a testicle? Absolutely. Could you live without both? Yes. Basically just where our sperm is generated and produced and having to do with some levels of hormonal therapy. So having to do with hormones as well. So, you may need to take some other medications thereafter, but could you actually live without your testicle? Yes. But if you're alive, that's fine. You can get medication to help going through the surgeries and the pain of that. I don't want that experience, nor do I want anybody else to experience that. Oh, right through the eye. I know my reaction every time. Oh my gosh, I'm just not ready for this. But through the globe, if your eye is shot like that, it's done. It's toast. There's really no fixing that. You just need to have a glass eye placed there. The question thereafter is the damage that's occurring to the brain. Wow. Again, anatomy is so cool. Popping right through the head and hitting the brain. Blood splattered. We're seeing a lot of brain anatomy, which looks appropriate. Very interesting. And I don't want to know exactly what happens in that situation. I never want to be in that situation. Oh, cool. I'm not saying cool of the injury to a human. I'm saying cool to the anatomy that I'm seeing. So you could, hit the clavicle, could shatter that. And then the first rib actually hides out right here. So it can go straight through that. But the biggest thing is going through the lung. Can cause a hemothorax, can cause a pneumothorax, or both, which is blood in the lung with a collapsed lung. Oh, what a good depiction and graphic that we're seeing, you're seeing small intestine and large intestine in the kind of the pelvis area. And so the small intestines were in the middle, kind of grouped together, all weird shapes. They're all attached by mesentery, which has all the blood vessels. And then the bigger, thicker ones, a little bit different color, was the large intestine or the colon. And so if you get shot through there, you worry about bleeding, but you also worry about poop. So you're literally going to have poop leaking out into your abdomen. If you're not going to succumb to your injuries because of the immediate trauma and the bleeding, then you run the risk of getting severely sick, getting bacteremic, septic, and then if you don't get appropriately treated with antibiotics and opened up and washed out, and that section either clipped off and sewn back together, or your intestines diverted to the outside where you have like a bag coming out of your body, you're gonna die. So, in this situation, you're in the field, what the heck do you do? Pressure and get the heck out of it. Oh, there we go. Holy cow. Explosion of the heart. We see this a lot of times when somebody is still alive. They'll come to the emergency department and have penetrating trauma to the chest, and maybe an atrium was taken out or a ventricle that has to be the top or the bottom, but it's a confined area. Unlike this shot where everything exploded out, you can bleed out pretty fast and die. What ends up happening is if we have the person there alive and say they lose pulses and they go into cardiac arrest right in front of our eyes, boom, immediately, thoracotomy, crack open the chest, get to the heart, cut the sac of the heart open, find where the problem is, get the blood out of there, and literally if you can stop the hole, stop it up, however, sew it up really fast, staple it shut, do whatever you got to do as fast as possible, fill that person back up with a ton of blood, just get it in there as fast as possible, then you actually have a chance to save that person. But that thoracotomy indication has to do with losing pulses of an individual that previously had them from a penetrating trauma. Very rarely do you do blood trauma. They still do it sometimes, but that is the fast, emergent, like cut, get into that person to save their life. Oh, lung injury. Oh, nice. I've actually seen trauma surgeons go in there, open up the chest cavity, and actually try to clamp it off to get the bleeding to stop. Sometimes that doesn't work. Last ditch effort in that situation is literally to take the lung and twist it and try to spin it on that axis of the brainstem bronchus to try to get the blood vessels to just stop and clamp down. You still have your other lung that you can still breathe with, but you're trying to prevent death. So you're trying to do everything possible, and that is one of the last ditch efforts that are taught to trauma surgeons. Oh, we know where the guy is. There it is. Upward trajectory, straight through. Yep, headshot, more points, and then obviously, if it goes through the mouth, and I've seen people get shot through the mouth and go out the side, soft tissue injury, survivable. If it goes through into the neck but misses, again, survivable. But it goes directly through, hits the brainstem, probably not survivable. Goes through, hits a little bit further up into the brain tissue, again, higher chance that it's not survivable. Oh, come on. Okay, with no anatomy on that one, but helmet is going like flying up into the air, getting shot off. I bet it actually truly does happen in, real world scenarios. We should have some like noise of like the metal bullet hitting the metal helmet. Like, that would be actually interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this one depicts that the brain changes a little bit through the bullet, through the head, and you're seeing it change a little bit in the sense of size. It almost looked like it deflated like a balloon. So interesting. So same, blood splattering like that. The brain is highly vascularized. In that situation, you didn't see brain tissue damage. You just saw like a hole pop through it with a little bit of blood flying out and the skull coming off partially in the back. So almost there. If they want to contact me for a consultation, definitely add in a little bit of brain matter changes when you're having head trauma injuries. So Sniper Elite 5, the graphics are really cool. During this whole, watching and reacting, you guys heard me discuss things that I would change to make it even cooler, but it was actually really interesting. I'm an anatomy buff, so I like the fact that they strip down the skin and you're able to see underneath the tissues. I just want a little bit more detail of what would happen. The most messed up shot out there is the scrotal shot, right? That's just cruel. Ton of head injuries. you're seeing good depictions of anatomy of the brain. I really liked. But the best shot I actually enjoyed was the single shot that I saw going to the heart, and you're seeing the heart kind of rip open. Really cool to be able to see that, because you actually don't see that. I only get to see that every now and then when you have to do a thoracotomy. It's just a bloody mess when you rip it open and you're trying to find the problem with the heart. So that was really cool and interesting. That is it. If you guys want to see more experts react, check out Gamology's YouTube channel as well as Facebook. And you can check out my YouTube channel and check out my Facebook, Instagram at Dr. ER. All right, appreciate it. Until next time.